Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bluebird and Bee Tarot. My name is Melanie, and I am so happy that you are here today. We are taking a look at what is holding your person back. So if there is something that they are drawn to tell you, if they are drawn to, make an offer to take the connection to the next level, if there is something that they are drawn to do or say, or whatever it is, what is holding them back from just going ahead and doing it? So we have 3 piles to choose from today. The first one, pile 1, is the Superlunaris Tarot. And the card I chose to show is the Hanged Man. In this deck, it's called the Suspended one. So actually, I guess I have it upside down here. That is kind of funny, since the Hanged Man's whole deal is that he hangs upside down. So yeah, this is what the Suspended one looks like in the Superlunaris Tarot. Okay, and then the second tarot deck that we have is making its debut on the channel, actually. It is the Lumiere Tarot, and it's by Claire Summer from Lumiere, and it is so beautiful. Yes, I love this deck. She did a beautiful, gorgeous job. So this is the Hanged one in this deck. It's called the Hanged One. Okay. And then pile 3 is the Tarot of the Divine. Okay, and this is what the Hanged Man looks like in the Tarot of the Divine. All right, I'm going to give you a moment to choose your pile. You can choose whichever one you feel drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile. There might be messages waiting for you in multiple piles. And if the time allotted here on the video to choose your pile is not enough, you can always pause the video and take as much time as you need. The timestamps are down below in the description, and I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Superlunaris Tarot, you have arrived at your reading. So let's dive in. Let's find out what is holding them back. Spirit, what is holding pile 1's person back? From whatever it is that they are drawn to do or say, but they can't quite get there. So whether that's reaching out, whether that's making a move, whether that is being vulnerable and authentic and honest about what's in their heart, whatever it is, whatever they are being held back from, Spirit, what is holding them back? What does pile 1 need to know? Okay. Okay, so we've got patience and cunning. Oh, so maybe it's not that they are being held back so much as they are holding themselves back in an attempt to be strategic about the timing, choose the right moment. But that can often result in analysis paralysis. So maybe that's what it started out as, but now it's become this thing where they're just in a holding pattern. Because, when is a perfect time? When is a perfect anything in this world? This is an imperfect world. Sometimes we have to just make our own perfection. Sometimes there is no ideal moment. Sometimes we just have to jump. Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more. What does pile 1 need to know? Thorn, okay. Yeah, and that also makes me think of the idea of a rose that has come to full bloom. So they are waiting for like the fullness of time in order to say what they need to say or do what they need to do. They're afraid that if they reach in and try to pluck the rose too early, they're going to get the thorn. They're not going to get the bull. They're going to get the horns. Oh, yeah. And so this could be a situation where, maybe you're in a relationship or maybe something more complicated. And so they're afraid that, that someone in your orbit might get angry with them if they say what they want to say. Or, this could be an ex who is worried about having to face the consequences of past actions. And so that is making them approach this with trepidation. What else, Spirit? What else does pile 1 need to know? Okay, then we got connect. Something that is interesting to me here is that all 3 cards have a very strong theme of an animal being present centrally in the card, which tells me that the connection between the two of you is kind of a living, breathing, growing, changing thing. It's not stagnant. It shifts. The energies shift. And so that is one of the reasons why they feel it's necessary to choose this exact time. Yeah, and with Connect, I just saw a really strong image of, what do they call that? It's not the high wire, it's the, oh my gosh, it's in the circus when it's like the high flying act when they swing out over the net and then they do the flips and then they catch the other bar and swing to the other side. Trapeze. Why am I drawing a blank? This is the simplest word. Wow. Wow, Melanie. Wow. But at any rate, whatever that is, I think it's trapeze. Why do I feel so dumb right now? Probably because the things I'm saying are kind of dumb. But at any rate, it's all about timing, is my point. You have to let go of the first bar at the exact right moment. You have to grab the second bar at the exact right moment to keep the momentum swinging through smoothly so that you can land on the other side. And that is what they feel they are doing. And I feel like that's what it started out as. But I think that something else is going on now. I think they're up on that trapeze just on the first bar, like swinging back and forth and never letting go because they are so afraid. I feel like it has morphed from let me choose my moment to just there will never be a moment. I feel like they're climbing up. And I don't think they recognize this about themselves. They're climbing up on that high dive every day, walking out to the end, looking down at that water. And then they're like, nope, not today, Satan. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be today. But I don't think they've ever said to themselves, I'm never going to jump off that high dive. I think every single day they say to themselves, tomorrow's going to be a better day. We'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. Yeah, the other thing that I'm noticing is there's a strong theme in all 3 of these cards of greenery. Yeah, there's leaves, there's, this whole rose bush, and it also has leaves. And then there's like a jungle background on this patience and cunning card. So again, that gives the very strong theme of something that is growing and changing, something that is lush and alive. Also, I feel like there is strong love energy here because look, we have roses on this card and then we have, I'm not sure what these pink flowers are, maybe carnations or peonies, something like that. Someone who actually knows about flowers is like, wow, the circus is not the only thing you don't know a whole lot about. Cool. But yeah, both of these flowers with their vibrant pink colors definitely represent love, because red and pink flowers represent love and passion very strongly. Yeah. And it all pink, like the pink color, especially this really saturated, intense fuchsia-like pink, also represents desire. And that color flower came out centrally here. So they definitely want to take this next step. They want it really badly. They're just being held back by, honestly, their own overthinking. Like, not to torture the phrase, they're all up in their head, but look, we have crown here. Yeah, we have looking in the mirror, the idea of looking in the mirror, which is what people often do when they're trying to psych themselves up for something or when they're overthinking something. Yeah, and I also think that it's really significant that this girl is naked on this card, because I think that that's their biggest fear, is being exposed, being naked, being vulnerable, having you see all there is to see and there's no place to hide. Yeah, the last thing I'm going to point out is this little boxer dog here, which I definitely feel has some significance, but it hasn't really come through to me what that significance is yet. But I want to point it out because I'm going to be keeping an eye out for other connections to the ideas represented by this dog. Dogs do represent the energy of loyalty, of pack, of soul family. So, you know, I feel like there are definitely further messages to be told along those lines, but what the actual message is hasn't really come through to me. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that. Also, I will say we have cunning and connect. So C might be an important initial. And then we also have this little guy's a boxer. And then we have the word boba up here. So B might also be an important initial. Oh, hello, Major Arcana. Yeah, with the Emperor coming out first, that may have been part of their planning of the perfect moment to launch this new journey between you, was when they accomplished something that they felt would put them on a level of being worthy to make a move. Now, with the Queen of Pentacles, that could have had to do with money, like when they got a certain car, when they got a certain kind of house or job. Yeah, they might have been waiting till they leveled up in that way. Okay. So the first thing I'm noticing, because I just talked about that dog, is the little dog that is always on the Fool card. And so I think that is part of the significance. I think that dog was on the Connect card so that I would be drawn to notice the dog here on the Fool card, with the Fool representing new journeys, new adventures. And look how eager this dog is to accompany its person. So I think that is one of the things that they want to let you know, is that they want to go with you everywhere. They want to accompany you on every journey that life throws in front of the two of you. They want to be together. They just want to approach, tackle, travel, every single thing together. Yeah, with this Queen of Pentacles, so we have a deer, we have a rabbit. Man, there is we have a fish on this page of cups card. We have, 2 dogs. Like there's so much energy of just animals, woodland creatures. Which also tells me, and especially with like the whole body positioning of these 3 women here in the 3 of Cups, that they also view this connection as being sort of wild and untamed. And I think with the thorn card, the imagery on the thorn card of like these roses, almost like on this Sleeping Beauty castle, just like growing in all different directions, wild, untamed. I think that's one of the things that's so exciting to them about this connection is that, that they are, it's almost like a game of Frogger. I don't know if you guys remember that video game, but it's this freeway with cars coming in different directions and you're a little frog and you have to hop. You have to try to make it to the other side by hopping back and forth and not being hit by a car. And that is all about timing as well. And I think that is what's so thrilling about them, that it actually is difficult, that there are stakes to choosing the right moment, that it requires cunning, that it requires strategy, but it also requires bravery, that there is something very real to be lost if it doesn't go well. It's not that I think, like, they definitely don't want to lose, like the frog doesn't want to be squished by a car, but the game would be really boring if there wasn't the potential for that. I think it makes them feel like a warrior to even approach this with you because your energy is so exciting. The whole thing feels like an adventure. I think they're not even interested if it's not this exciting. I think they're going to do whatever it is they're drawn to do because they're in a holding pattern right now. They're being held back by their fears. They're climbing up on that high dive, and each day they keep backing down. But the encouraging thing is that each day they do keep climbing back up again. And one of the times when they are walking to the edge of that high dive, they are going to be overcome with a wave of courage and warrior sensibility. And they're going to be like, F it, we're doing it. Today we're jumping. And they're not even going to look down when they get to the end of the high dive. They're just going to jump. And maybe they're going to belly flop. But the potential that might happen is one of the things that makes it so thrilling. I think with this Page of Cups, I think it's going to be the day that curiosity about what will happen after they make the move or say the thing, the day that curiosity about what will happen either way, good or bad, overcomes their fears, that's the day they'll do it. But I think it's going to go well because, whatever the outcome of the particular risk they're taking, we've got the 3 of Cups here. Like the 2 of you are soulbound. You are friends over and above anything. You respect the hell out of each other and your hearts are tied together. So it's not going to be like one risk that turns out, maybe not exactly the way they had dreamed of it is not going to be the end all be all of what the 2 of you mean to each other. You mean too much. And the 3 of Cups is also this energy of like celebrating together, being together, like feeling good energy together. So you guys will work it out together. You will figure out how to get back to a place where you feel like our energy, like our particular energy. Feel like us, where you are relating together. Like people say that, like, this isn't us. This isn't how we are. And that's because they are lucky enough to be part of a special type of connection that has a very distinct feeling and a very distinct set of norms. And so you will be able to find your way back there, regardless of how it goes. Yeah, they're afraid. They're choosing their moment. But yeah, their warrior spirit's going to end up making them take the leap at some point. But I will say maybe the reason why they need to choose a moment at all is because it's complicated. So if they take the risk and it's not at a point in time where you can take off on this brand new journey, if there are loose ends that need to be tied up, if the moment that they chose is in fact not the exact right moment, I feel like this Three of Cups is Spirit encouraging you not to feel pressured or not to feel like you're ruining anything if you can't, proceed as if it were a rom-com or something like that. No. This is the long game. You guys are in it for the long haul. You are soul-bound. You are heart-bound. And I feel like throughout the course of your lives, there are going to be a lot of these little inch forward, then I inch forward, then you inch forward, then yeah. And your paths will ultimately cross at the exact right moment for both of you at some point. I feel like, yeah, this is the first of many of these risks and thrills. And I will say this is probably not the easiest connection. This is probably not the most relaxing connection, but I do feel like it's thrilling. I think that you feel that thrill the same way that they do. And I think this is probably one of the more rewarding connections you've ever been a part of. Yeah, and this is just the beginning. Yeah, if I had to sort of sum this up in one sentence, I would say this is just the beginning. Alrighty, so that is what I have for you, pile one. And yes, if you enjoyed that reading, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up, or not gave me a thumbs up, yes, Melanie, thumbs up as a human being, but gave the video a thumbs up. If you want to connect with me for a private reading, the information about how to do so is in the description. I would love it if you would comment. I love interacting in the comments. And yeah, if you would like to see more readings like this in the future, it would be great if you would subscribe. That really helps the channel, helps it grow. And I want to wrap up by letting you know that I am proud of you. You matter, you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye, pile one. Hello, pile two. If you chose the Lumiere Tarot, you have arrived at your reading. So yes, let's dive in and find out what is going on with your person. What is holding them back? What is holding back from reaching out? What is holding back from making their move? What is holding them back from being real and authentic and saying what they need to say to you? Okay, so we got Vessels, Love. Yeah, I very much think of that Oracle card as being tied to the Ace of Cups, like making a love offer. Yeah, so I'd say there is likely a higher percentage of people in this pile who are waiting for their person to make an offer, either the initial offer of, letting you know that they have feelings, letting you know that they want to be in union, or a sort of second chance offer where this is a situation where you have been in union before and you're waiting for them, or they are being drawn to let you know that they would like to be in union again. Okay, so then we have Flow. Yeah, interesting that the first pile, there was a really strong green theme across the cards. In this one, there seems to be a really strong blue theme. And then, I don't know if you heard Pepper's collar jangle, but that is something that I take to really be a validation or an emphasis on what I'm saying in the moment. Yeah, so we've got blue sky, we've got blue water, we've got the idea of water as well. Like this vessel is meant to hold water. We've got a waterfall here on the second card. Okay, so this could be a situation where there is distance or travel involved, because I saw an image of someone hiking up to this waterfall with this bag card that made me think of packing a bag. This also looks like a doctor's bag, but it looks like I have this personal item bag. It's called the bento bag. And it looks not unlike this. It's one of it. You know, I'm sure you've seen on the carry-on suitcase there, they have the bags that slide on top, and then when you're on the plane, it goes under your seat. So yeah, it's one of those bags. Yeah, so, and this one with the kind of ancient clay vessel is kind of giving me Indiana Jones vibes. So yeah, I think that something that is a theme here is the idea of packing up and leaving on the spur of the moment. Either to go on an adventure, like a nature adventure, or like a work trip, or an Indiana Jones style adventure where you're searching for treasure, which, I mean, that could metaphorically describe a work trip as well. So yeah, this may be a situation where your person just travels a lot, maybe for work, or is gone a lot, even metaphorically, if this doesn't represent actual travel. And so they feel like they can't give you what you deserve and what you need. Yeah, maybe they're trying to figure out how to deal with that. But yeah, also with bag, that is a slang word for money, financial stability. So I feel like they don't think that they can work this out until they have secured the bag. I think what they need to resolve is that they are really kind of on their hustle game right now. And what they need to do is relax and go with the flow of spirit. They need to trust spirit to kind of turn the wheel of fortune as it's meant to be turned in its own divine timing as well. That's interesting as well with the idea of the wheel of fortune. Like there's actually the word fortune in the term, and that's another synonym for finances, abundance, financial security. But also there's the idea of like a soldier of fortune is just this kind of non-committal, like will work for anyone, going on these adventures. Not the same type of thing as an Indiana Jones figure, but I would argue like much the same energy. So yeah, I feel like you're a person, whether it is actually or metaphorically, doesn't want to be tied down. They know that's not what you deserve, but they all, like, by the same token, they also want you. I think that they are trying to come to terms with this. I think they're trying to figure out, first of all, if there's a way to keep you in their orbit without hurting you or dishonoring you. Yeah, I don't think they think there is, though. Yeah, because with this bag card coming out here, I think what they envision is that they are just going to kind of pack up and leave. I don't think they see a way to make this work right now. So I think that is the crux of what is holding them back. They have all this emotion for you. Like they have a cup full of love for you. But what's holding them back from offering it is they don't see a scenario where this could possibly end in anything but hurt feelings and broken hearts. if they saw a way for this to be successful, I think that they would offer you their cup of love today. But I don't think they can work it out in their mind. I think they are trying. I think they're trying to game out all the scenarios, but I don't think they've succeeded. Oh, yep, I'm holding it upside down. Yeah, more energy of finances, abundance, pentacles. Yeah, so this could also be an earth sign, water sign combo. Yeah, even with, because the vessel is made of clay, yet it would hold water. We've got these mountains surrounding this waterfall. Yeah, would not be surprised if this was an earth sign, water sign combo. Yeah, look, and so yeah, so we started out with Pentacles, and then the next card is Cups. Yeah, more validation that this could be an earth sign, water sign combo. It doesn't have to be, but yeah, so that would be water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, look at that. So with the Lovers coming out centrally here, yeah, this person has so many feelings for you, pile 2. They are really overflowing with feelings for you. And they feel so drawn to you. And in many ways, they feel like you are two peas in a pod, two sides of the same coin. But they just don't see a way to make it work. Yeah, the Lovers also does indicate making an important decision, standing at a crossroads, having two paths ahead of you. You can take one of them. Feel like, so in this instance, I feel like one leads to adventure, one leads to commitment. Yeah, a lot of major arcana coming out toward the end here. With the Hierophant, that's interesting because that card came out just as I was saying one leads to adventure, one leads to commitment. And one of the meanings of the Hierophant is like a traditional commitment, like a higher level commitment. And then Justice also means balance. So if the two of you have conversations about this, even if you don't speak about it directly, even if you speak, in the hypothetical or the abstract or ways that sort of dance around it, maybe that's something that you could introduce to their way of thinking, that there are ways to be attached. There are ways to be in this lover's relationship. There are ways to be connected and soul-bound, where it's a balance of commitment and adventure. And also that commitment doesn't have to be this very traditional idea of commitment. Commitment looks like whatever the two of you decide commitment looks like. And I think that that might be another issue that this person is dealing with, is that, yeah, maybe they come from with the Hierophant, maybe they come from like a high control religious background. And so they even have some, I don't know, sort of waffling thoughts about commitment that doesn't fit the traditional mold that like they have some underlying thoughts that like, oh, that's not real commitment, or what makes a real commitment, which is odd because I feel like in their own personal ethos, they don't really like a traditional style commitment is not something that they are cut out for. It like that would be like square peg, meet round hole. But oh my God. And I actually just realized, look, there's this rectangle of this monument here and this like circular sun shape there right next to each other. So yeah, that traditional style commitment is not something that is ever going to fit them. But then I do think that they have some toxic thinking that was likely implanted very early that, you know, if it ain't traditional, it ain't real. And again, yeah, I think that is something that maybe you could help introduce some balance into that thinking that, yeah, they can be a lone wolf. You can be lone wolves together. It's like that meme that went around about introverts, like introverts unite separately in the privacy of your own homes. Yeah, that you can both be highly independent, highly like self-focused in terms of your goals, your decision making, your career paths. Like, yeah, being committed doesn't mean you need to be married, doesn't mean you need to overlap finances, doesn't mean that you need to check in with each other, even about where you live or what you are, you know, doing with your future. Like, there are a lot of couples who don't live together, who don't even live near each other, who really lead these like highly independent lives. But what commitment means between them and their person is exactly that. You are my person. You are the person that I tell all my good news to first, because it doesn't feel real until I've talked to you about it. And you are the person that I dream about when I'm sleeping and smile when I think about when I'm awake. You are the person that I go to first if the world is crashing down around me and I need comfort or I need help. Like, that is what commitment is to those people. Just the whole, you are my person of it all. And it doesn't have to mean all the traditional things. That's, I think, what's holding them back. That's the crux of it. And do I think that they're going to have one conversation with you and then switch their whole thinking overnight? Of course, this is entrenched thinking. It's going to take a while. But I do think that that is what is holding them back. And ultimately, that's a relatively easy solve, because a lot of these really entrenched subconscious beliefs, when they don't have to do with coloring our own self-identity, they're really easy to flip the switch on when we consciously identify them and pull them forward into the light. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with your person. So I feel like this is closer than you think, pile 2. I don't know if it's necessarily close, but I feel like it's closer than you think. Alrighty, so that is what I have for you. I would love it if this reading resonated with you. I would love it if you would give this video a like. That really helps the video spread and get to people that it needs to get to. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, I would love it if you would subscribe. That also really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate it so, so much. Also, if you wanted to comment below and, you know, tell me whatever you feel comfortable about sharing of your situation. I love to interact with people in the comments. And finally, if you would like a personal reading, the instructions for how to do that are in the description below. But I am going to wrap this up by letting you know, pile 2, that I am so proud of you. You matter. You are loved. You are worthy. And you are enough. Okay, bye, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Tarot of the Divine, then you have arrived at your reading. So let's dive in. Let's see. Spirit, let me know, what is pile 3's person? What is holding them back? What is holding them back from reaching out, from making a move? What is holding them back from being honest about what's in their heart, from being vulnerable? Whatever it is they are drawn to do, what is holding them back from actually doing it? What is holding them back from taking that leap? Okay, so we've got innocence and openness. We've got bloom. And then we've got adapt. Okay, so the first thing that I'm drawn to is this turkey, the idea of this turkey. There's 3 animals that are making themselves kind of well known here. There's the turkey, there's this bird, and then there's this mountain goat. And I actually feel like this is sort of a chronological progression that they are going to move through. So I do feel like at the end of this process, they are going to make a move. Yes, bold claim to make this early in the reading, but I feel it strongly. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so with this turkey here, we've got innocence and openness, and I feel like that is also an energy of almost naivete, that it's like you don't know what you don't know. And I think that makes them nervous because they just feel like there's so much information out there that they are unaware of. And it's something that they should know, but they don't even know what it is that they don't know, which creates a sense of fear because how can you manage a situation like that? Yeah, and so the thing about turkeys that not everybody knows is that because of the way their nasal passages are formed, they can actually drown just standing in the rain. They get really fascinated with the rain and they look up toward the sky. But because, like I said, of the way their nasal passages are formed, they don't have an external protective covering like we do. We have our noses. So the water just goes right in and they can drown that way. And they don't know that. And so I feel like that is what this person is afraid of, is that there is something in this situation that they are not aware of that's going to end up being lethal to them, that's going to end up just destroying them or breaking their heart into a million pieces. And they also don't think that they can handle it. With innocence and openness, this may be a situation where this is, if not their first serious relationship that they would be entering, that this is one of the earlier ones, or that maybe, they might have had relationships in the past, but this one feels different. That's a very common experience that a lot of us have, is that we have relationships, even several relationships, and we really care for that person and we connect. And of course it hurts when you break up, but then there's the one. Then there's the one that's like, oh my God, yeah, so I've never actually experienced having feelings before, is something that I learned today, because this is a whole new level. Yeah, so I think that might be like one of those situations, is that this person is recognizing exactly how vulnerable they are and they're recognizing that they are vulnerable in ways that they have no idea how to protect themselves against. and they're really scared about how hurt they could get. I feel like they are honestly, and I'm not even saying this hyperbolically, I feel like they are honestly nervous about how could they even survive the hurt that would be caused if this situation were destroyed. Yeah, so at this stage of the game, they are just a little seedling that has just been planted in the ground. They have so much ahead of them, so much growing to do. But the next step that we move along to is bloom. This is the step where they start to grow, where they start to see the sunlight, where the stalk begins to become stronger, and then the flower comes out, but it's just a tiny little bud, but then it's spring and it begins to bloom. That's a process you can't rush, unfortunately, because yeah, that would be amazing if we could just make that happen as quickly as we wanted to, but that is not how nature works, and it's also not how human psychology works. So yeah, you can't rush making a flower bloom, and you're not going to be able to rush this person growing into the person that they are meant to be. But because this is coming out as such a progression, I feel like it still is very encouraging, because even though you can't make it happen in your timing, there's very strong energy behind the idea that it is going to be happening in Spirit's timing. So once they have completed this blooming process and they are feeling confident and they are feeling strong, the next thing that will happen is that they take this leap. They climb this mountain. And they find out that there are unexpected things along the path, but they adapt. They change. They find out that they are actually capable of navigating situations that they never would have imagined that they were capable of. And yeah, with this idea of this mountain goat climbing to the top of the mountain, the idea that there are obstacles and they need to adapt, that makes me think that maybe there is something they have to do to, like, quote unquote, earn you. Not earn your love. I don't think that this is a calculated thing on your part, but I feel like there are just natural obstacles in place. Like, for instance, maybe you're a single parent, pile 3, and, they have to make the decision to step up and be a solid, dependable person in your kid's life, because that's only fair to do. If you're going to involve kids' feelings, then, you've got to make the commitment to go all in. Or maybe, you might have health issues that they would have to, if they are going to be an important figure in your life, they're going to have to take on their part of dealing with that, because it's just part and parcel with what comes along with you. Maybe there is a distance factor here. Like, there could be any number of obstacles, but the point that I'm making is I feel like it's natural obstacles. It's just the course of, it's not artificial obstacles that you're putting up to make them earn your love. But I feel like you have maybe a life that is not the simplest life. And if they are going to be with you, there are going to be things that they have to adapt to. And so that is why they need to go through this process before they make their move, before they confess their feelings and make their offer, to grow into the person that they are meant to be, so that they are capable of rising to those challenges and making those adaptations. Yeah, tell me more, Spirit. What else does pile 3 need to know? What else does pile 3 need to know? We've got the King of Wands. the Ace of Coins. Yeah, there might be financial challenges as well. The Emperor. Yeah, that is so beautiful that the Emperor came out right on top of this Bloom card. Yeah, this Bloom card, when they finally go through that process of growing and then blooming, that is when they rise up into their Emperor energy. That is when they become the person they are meant to be and the person that you deserve to have. Yeah, that may be another thing, pile 3, is that you may have been so beaten down and so consumed by facing the challenges that come with living your life that you may not still be really in touch with the idea that you actually deserve an emperor. Yeah, you deserve, it's not like, oh, you should just be grateful for what you get because who's going to want to take on this complicated situation? That may be what you are tempted to think about yourself in your worst moments. But I feel like this relationship is Spirit reminding you that that is very much not the case. That you are, in fact, a warrior, which is what you have proven through the way that you have lived your life with dignity and perseverance and tenacity. And you are an empress because of that. You are a warrior empress, and you deserve a warrior emperor who is going to meet you on the battlefield as an equal. Oh my God, I love the Ace of Coins and the Ace of Cups surrounding the Emperor card. Yes. A new journey of prosperity and stability and a new journey of love. Come on now. Flanking the Emperor card. Yes, and if that is not just the most beautiful metaphor about each of our personal journeys, that when we rise up to who we are meant to be, when we focus on our own spiritual growth, when we are not focused on, gathering all these outside things that we think are going to satisfy us, but when we are focused on being the best version of us, the version of us that we are meant to be in this life, when we rise up into the fullness of that version of ourselves, that's when a new journey of abundance presents itself, of love. People often think of the word abundance as just having to do with finances, but in truth, abundance just means more than enough. Whatever you need, you have more than enough, not just enough. You have more than enough. So yes, finances, more than what you need, more than enough. Love, camaraderie, support, yeah, not just the bare minimum, but more than enough. Yeah, I think that is so interesting that I was so prompted to talk about the idea of a warrior spirit throughout all the cards leading up to the Knight of Wands coming out here. And then, yeah, look at the expression on this knight's face. Like, this knight is ready to go into battle. Yeah, so there could be any number of situations in your life, pile 3, where you are not just looking for someone to have a good time with. You're not even just looking for someone to, share really beautiful, ooey gooey, fuzzy wuzzy love energies with, as lovely as that is. But because of the life you live, you need someone who is going to join hands with you and ride into battle. You need someone who is going to be able to handle that. So yeah, I think that right now, this person is in a time of training. Like, this is the Olympics basically, and they need to train. You spent your whole life training for this. You haven't had a choice. It's been your life. But they need to train. They need to rise up to have the ability to rise to the occasion. So yeah, I know that it's generally frustrating to be in a position of limbo, waiting for someone to go through their process and do their work, but this is going to be for the best. This is going to be for the best, pile 3. They are using this time to rise up and be the person that you deserve. Yeah, beautiful. Very beautiful. So that is what I have for you, pile 3. If it resonated, I would love it if you would like this video. It really helps the video spread and get to other people who need the messages that are contained in here. I would also love it that if you would like to see more content like this in the future, that you would consider subscribing. That also really helps the channel grow, and I truly, truly appreciate it. And yeah, if you would like to comment down below, I do love interacting with people in the comments. If you would like to book a personal reading, the instructions for that are down below. But in the meantime, I want to wrap this up by letting you know that I am proud of you. You matter. You are loved. You are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye, pile 3.